You know what time it is. It's time to get jacked up for Jesus. I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas out there. Got the stockings hung. Starting to do a little decoration for the holidays. Just want everyone to remember what Christmas truly means out there. But I'll shoot another video on that here in the future. Got some few other things on my mind that I want to talk to you about. It's been about 2 weeks since I've posted a video. Been taking a lot in. Been following things throughout the world that is going on. I've been telling my brothers each time I've gone to shoot a video, which has really never happened to me before, I get to the point of shooting a video and then I can't do it because I feel God has inspired me with a message, but yet it's going to come out like I'm talking in the flesh. And I try to minimize the flesh as we are as believers and make it more about Him and less about me in the flesh. I'll start off by saying this. I don't shoot these videos and yes, it's nice to have followers. It's nice to have people subscribe to the channel. But I shoot these videos so you can follow the man that I follow, and that's Jesus Christ. So if you don't want to follow this channel or you disagree with this channel or what I'm saying, by all means, it's okay if you leave and not watch these videos if you're offended by them. Because Jesus said if you're offended by Him, you're going to be offended by me. If you're going to be persecuted, you're going to be persecuted because of Jesus Christ. But it's important that why I shoot these videos so that you understand where the jacked up guy comes from is that it's about following Him. Over the last couple of weeks, through my research and seeking things out, I've been receiving a lot of comments in person, a lot of comments on Messenger, Facebook, phone calls. Hey, jacked up, you're getting a little political. I thought being a Christian, you don't get involved in politics. You don't seek these things that here are on earth. And this is true. I seek the kingdom of God. However, I live in the reality of that we're here on earth, and that the truth is that a lot of people believe that God, when He cast out the devil, He cast him out into hell. The truth is He casted him out and he was upon the earth. The truth also is, if you read in the book of Job, that he still can move back and forth and communicate with God. So he's not in a fiery place right now with a pitchfork. Okay? So I want to address a few things as far as I'm not going to change who I am as an individual or shoot a video based off of somebody telling me not to do something. I answer to one person, and that's God. Okay? And I think for so many of you believers out there, you need to start recognizing that that's the person you answer to. And this fear that's going across this nation about speaking out or saying something, and that you're becoming political or whatever, is a bunch of hogwash. I'm a president of a Christian motorcycle club. People have made comments, you're a president of a Christian motorcycle club, you represent the club, which is 100% true, I do. But more people need to speak out in a manner that is in the truth. You can tell by, if you check me out on Facebook, Seraphin Titus, obviously I've posted a lot of stuff involving what's going on in this world and as far as the globalization. Now, it's already been written in the Bible that these things are going to happen, so I'm not concerned. However, while I'm in the flesh and I have a voice, I will push back against these things. Because at the end of the day, if you read the Bible and understand the Bible through the book of Daniel, through Revelation, this thought process is ultimately evil. And as a believer, I'm here to push back against evil, first in myself, and then what goes around about me, and speak in the truth, and speak with the authority of Jesus Christ in me. And it's a shame that there's so many people out there that call themselves believers in Christ, and I'm not here to judge your salvation, that won't speak out against this because they feel they're going to be persecuted. They're going to lose friends. They're going to, they live in certain communities that if, I even noticed on my, on my Facebook postings, brothers that normally like give me a thumbs up or like when I post a certain thing, they're nowhere to be found. Even if while at their home, and I have had personal conversations with them, that they know what the truth is, they won't speak out against it because they're more concerned about what their neighbors think, what their family might think. And I think it's time to start being honest if you're a believer in Jesus Christ. And this is nothing against when I'm saying about the political parties and things that are out there, red side, blue team, whatever. I've told you before where I identify in my political life. Okay, I don't fall into party lines. I'm not a sheep that just is saying on one side or the other, I'm going to follow you to the end of the earth, no matter what. If you're wrong, you're wrong. There's people right now in power in this world, and there's really, when I speak of this, that we're all being divided right now. And we're being divided basically mostly on race and politics. But the truth is, we're being divided just like in the time of Jesus Christ with the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and the let me use the peasant people, or what the Sanhedrin believed was the least wise of all people that didn't have the education and everything, the elites, if you will. We're truly being divided by people of wealth and have elite status. And I will say, if you look at the criminal justice system alone, you will see that money drives that narrative. Not race, not religion. The Bible talks over and over again about corruption and deception. And I've shot so many videos on this. We are facing some of the most corrupt activity we have ever experienced worldwide on both sides of the aisle. Both sides of the aisle are involved in major corruption right now. We're being lied to at a numerous scale, being told that we have to listen to a certain thing. And let me explain that. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, like I told you. I shoot these videos because I want you to hear a message from God. Take it in. Come to your own conclusions. By your own free will, come to Jesus Christ. But I don't force that on you. I believe that think tanks and having multi-views being represented, especially in government, is important. And maybe that sounds strange coming from a follower of Christ. But the truth is, I know it can be corrupted if it's only one way. So, what I'm saying to you out there is, you need to start looking at the truth, not what's being sold to you by the evil one. And that is, divide and conquer amongst the common folk, such as myself. Do not be, and I shot a video on this, and I'm shooting it again and saying about it again because I see this as the most important thing in saving lives in this world right now, is not to be divided by a narrative that's being sold that is so untrue. We need to stand united regardless of your ideology, right? Your rhetoric. Stand together and make sure that we're not being used as pawns to kill each other and be violent. Okay? That principle alone is what the United States stands on. Is the ability to have open discussion about ideas, right? And not to be murdered, censored, and all these things on both sides of the aisle again that is happening. Where people are being threatened on this side, people are being threatened on this side, people's families are being persecuted, people are being doxxed, all these things are going on. This is the plan of evil. Regardless if you're an evangelical conservative supporting a certain side or you're a progressive liberal, either side who decides to do that is perpetrating evil into this world. No matter how upset you get, There is no reason based off of a ideology and a language being expressed that you should go out and physically harm an individual or crush their professional life or destroy their families or do any of this stuff because you're being driven by your emotions, by the political elite to play their game. I told somebody the other day, check out the movie The Truman Show, and that's exactly what's going on right now. This is a big Truman Show. Well, really what it comes down to is both sides are aware of the game that's being played right now, right? So they all have vested interests, all based on money, right? The truth is, if you want to really research historically, big banks, big corporations own the United States of America. And then we have what's called the lobbyists who go to Washington and push their narrative agendas onto them. Well, then you say, jacked up, aren't our senators and representatives the people that we elect and they're to be influenced by the government? Yes, the principle is that. Yes. However, money talks and a little man walks. And why I'm telling you this is do not get involved in these things where you're inflicting violence, both sides, inflicting violence on other individuals, because I will promise you, the elites out there, their family members are not involved in going out on the street and beating each other up. Their family members are not going to be subject to prosecution. Their family, it's already being, you can already see it right now, their families are not going to be indicted on certain things. There's two systems of justice in this country, and it has nothing to do with race. It has to do with your money, power, and influence. And we need to start opening up as all people, and especially you believers out there who believe in what is sin, what is not sin, what it is to be righteous, to follow the path of Jesus Christ, and to be sanctified, and to follow His commandments, and to walk forward in that path of the righteousness. You cannot proclaim these things if you fall into that narrative that it's okay. This idea right now that is being sold because the media has given up on saying that this, I got to be careful because they'll probably take my video down or put me at the bottom of the list, but actually I'm not going to be careful. This narrative that's being sold that there was nothing to see here in this past election. And I promise you it was on both sides. It wasn't just a bunch of Democrats getting together to say, let's steal the election. You really need to look into this. There's a very influential person who was involved in this that is a conservative Republican. But that very narrative that's being driven home, and you're not even supposed to question it, should bring up the alert. The little spidey senses, the antlers should be flying off, whether you're a believer, non-believer, but especially believer. Because you know, you have no excuse. You have the written word of God, which you have pivoted, and it is the cornerstone in your life. And you should be able to discern everything that's going on based off of the Bible. And what's disheartening to me is that people sit quiet. People with social media who I know are in the faith will not use that platform to fight back against evil. Because they want to sit in silence. Or they have their own personal things like, hey, I mean, there's people out there that have accounts that you couldn't even tell that they were followers of Christ. Well, why is that? Are they afraid of persecution? The answer you will get is, well, it's my personal thing. I do this, that, and the other thing. I don't want, my, separation of church and state, these other things like that. The thing is God doesn't see that way. Once you have been cloaked in the blood of Christ, you have been commissioned to share His message and to walk with courageous action, behavior to share that message and not be concerned when people say, hey, 2 weeks ago we did a Bible study and somebody brought up a topic and then another person proceeds to say, well, is Bible study really a forum for that? Well, I'll tell you this. When I run a Bible study, I allow it to go wherever God's going to lead us to talk. I also don't censor the people that are in the Bible study, because sometimes certain conversations lead to another. So I had an individual after a Bible study basically say to me, this needs to stop, and this is no place for that Bible study. At which time I respectfully said to that person, that's not going to happen, because I will never stop somebody from sharing something in that Bible study that could lead to a conversation that's been ordained by God. I'm not going to interfere with that. Now, if we get so far off track that we spend 45 minutes and I need to bring everyone back around to the original topic, absolutely I will do that. But I will not stop somebody in a Bible study from discussing whatever they want. And then I will also have you, if you want to, you can look into different Bible studies. There's a Bible study out there called Cultural Wars by Chip Ingram. There's a whole section about Christians being in politics and what you're tasked to do and different things. I mean, we could go through the Bible. I could show you different parts of the Old and New Testament where Christians were involved in politics. Okay, so I guess the meaning of this video is, number one, is to preach out there with boldness. Do not concern yourself truly, if you have the faith in Jesus Christ, whether your neighbors are going to think differently of you because you're not on their side of the fence, so to speak, politically. You want to hide the fact that you're either a conservative or a liberal, or you feel that that's not necessary. But you definitely shouldn't be hiding the fact that you're a follower of Jesus Christ. Matter of fact, the Great Commission says you will not, and that you are to share the word, the gospel of Jesus Christ. And if you're afraid to get behind these ideas, especially if it's an idea pushing back against an evil concept of what could happen, you should be on the forefront of that fight. You should not be stifled or worried about, well, I could lose my job because I said such and such at this point and whatever. Well, again, I would say to you, do you believe in God? Do you faithfully believe the word that is written, that it says, for my sake, right? For my sake, right, you will be redeemed. For my sake, you might be persecuted. For my sake, you will be suffering. But it also says for what your rewards will be. They might not be here on earth, but they are in heaven. So if you're going to say it, do it. Be about it. Be about it. And I guess that's probably the number one thing that I really, really want to stress in this video, and I know I've gone on for a long time, is be about it. Don't sit back and watch people doing stuff because you don't want to get involved. You don't want to like another person's video. You want to hit up somebody else who's a Christian and says, hey, you posted some political stuff on there. I don't believe you should do that because you're a Christian. What? First of all, again, the very freedoms that we enjoy in this country is because we have the ideals based off Judeo-Christian values that we're able to share in brotherly love, sisterly love messages to each other and coexist. But slowly, those ideals have been eroded. They've been destroyed. That if you have a narrative or you have faith in this, you will be destroyed at all costs. And by not speaking up against that, you are playing into that. So when persecution happens, don't blame somebody else. Blame you, the church that lives inside you, for those things happening. And ask yourself, man, maybe I should have spoke up. Maybe I should have did something. Maybe. Get off the couch and start preaching the word of God. Get off the couch and start telling and supporting your brothers who are fighting against evil, who are involved in spiritual warfare. And don't be afraid of what somebody's going to say. Evil will thrive because you will live your life in fear of saying something. This is not about winning arguments. This is about being able to express your faith with freedom, or your ideas with freedom. And if you don't say anything and you sit back and you say, well, I'm a Christian, I'm neutral. I'm this, I'm neutral. I'm in a motorcycle club, Christian motorcycle club, And I can't say that. I can't get involved in that. I live in a certain neighborhood that's surrounded by people who have a liberal agenda. So if I say something, my neighbors are going to come against me. What? We're in America, the home of the land and the free and the brave. It's time to stand up and share your feelings. Share your words. Do not get involved in violent actions because you're playing into the evilness. But speak. Don't be afraid to speak. Don't be afraid that you're going to lose followers. Don't be afraid you're going to lose friends. Don't be afraid you're going to lose family. Because the Bible even talks about this. If you follow me, Jesus said, you're going to lose people. But what's more important in your heart? Who's the number one person that you follow? I'm talking to you believers right now. Who do you follow? Where do you stand? You're going to sit there while these things are going on and not say anything. Say, and then when things happen, we blame it all on sin. Oh, it's all the sinners. It's all the sinners. It's all the sinners. It's all the sinners. Really? Where were you before that happened? Where were you before that happened? Why did the state and the government have to come over and take over certain programs? And then you complain that the state and everything, we have high taxes because they had to come in and take over these programs. They had to come in and take over these programs because the churches, the Christians, the believers who say, I love my brothers, I love my sisters, I love all people, take care of orphans, go to prisons, take care of the elderly, they stopped doing it. They stopped doing it and allowed the government to come in and take over. There was a post the other day. I'm going to finish with this. There was a post the other day from a person who's not a believer. Actually, I don't want to lock him down to what actually he believes in, but I know he's, I would say that he's, based on our conversations personally and also his posting, that he's anti-religion, anti-Christian. But he posted something very interesting in a way as a slam against the church, and it was so true. With everything going on during this COVID and the government handing out money through these bailouts, churches are taking money, right? And I'm not talking about the little guys. I'm talking about, I'll say it, Joel Osteen, right? $4 million, right? This dude is a multi-millionaire. Why does he need $4 million? Why is his church closed? Does he not have faith? Why does he need that money, right? The Bible talks plenty of times that I will provide. I will provide. I will provide. But yet, churches out there are getting involved in the Payroll Protection Act. They're taking big money from big government. But yet they stay locked down. Or, how come, out of the goodness of these very wealthy pastors, they're not giving back? How come with the homeless problem in the United States and all these other things that are going on, those churches right now aren't open as homeless shelters to take in people that are possibly losing their jobs because of these communist governors and everything else that have destroyed small businesses, destroying lives, who people can't support themselves anymore? How come these big churches aren't opening up and becoming homeless shelters or a way to provide for people? Some are, not all, but some are. Why isn't that happening? Because it's us as believers saying we're going to do one thing and then we do the next. Or we're afraid to get involved in something because we're neutral. We're just neutral people. We're just going to let evil exist, right? We're just gonna sit quietly and watch these things happen. No, this guy's not. This guy's not. I will always preach in the truth. I will always tell you what's up and what's on my mind, and I will do so as the Lord has given me the words. And you know what? I regret the fact that I haven't shot a video, and that every time before this I would turn on a video and say, hey, I'm going to speak in the flesh, even though God has given me this word. So I just wanted to say again out there, Merry Christmas. Continue to expose evil where you can expose evil. Continue, if you're living in a shell right now like a turtle, to speak out against the evils and the injustices in this world, and not be afraid of what your neighbors and your family are going to say. Listen, if they're going to disown you over what you have to say, ask yourself: are they really the people that say that they love you? when I'm talking about family members, brothers, all these other organizations that you belong to that say, don't talk about that. Is that unconditional? That's not unconditional. That comes with conditions. That comes with keep your mouth shut. You're a disciple of Christ. We don't get involved. We don't say this. We don't do this. We don't do that. But do so when you're out there speaking with grace, love, and mercy. And show the light of the life. The light that can come through your life through Jesus Christ as you're sharing this message. Do not attack subcultures. Do not attack all these things physically. Speak in the truth. Show that loving grace that's been given to you by Jesus Christ. But don't be afraid to speak up. So, I just want to tell you all out there, God bless you. I love you. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe, share. And again, don't follow me. Follow the man that I follow. Follow the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings that I follow. And his name is Jesus Christ. God bless. We'll see you next time when we get jacked up for Jesus.